Caribbean capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
We are back again with Network News at 7. Coming up in our newscast, eyebrows raised over the slaughtering of pregnant animals. The NDC promises to introduce Freedom of Information Act if successful in June 23rd elections. Political observer says political parties owe undecided voters more than rallies. In Guyana, a toy gun scare at a secondary school followed a teacher's protest about developing gang violence situations against them. And further afield, Britain's sentenced to death for fighting Russian forces in Ukraine. Grenada's Kirani James continues his dominance toward the World Championships in July. That's coming up in our sports news. We'll tell you more right after this.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Happy Friday to you, and thanks so much for joining us. I am Krista Campbell. Grenada remains one of the few countries in the Caribbean that remains without a Freedom of Information Act despite promises from past and present government. The National Democratic Congress is promising to fix this if elected into government. Christina John tells us more in this opening report.
The government led by former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas in 2008 promised to introduce a Freedom of Information Act. However, that never materialized, and today, Grenada remains one of few countries in the Caribbean that remains without such legislation. The promise, which resulted in several consultations with the Media Workers Association, stalled at a draft stage. Now the NDC is promising to resume consultation with the media to bring the draft document into a complete legal document. Mr. Thomas says such legislation will allow for the questioning of those in authority.
This is a party that respects our institution to the extent that in the Parliament of Grenada we move to remove criminal libel from the books so that we could free up the media in particular and to give you people the opportunity to speak out. Information should be flown. There shouldn't be any restriction on information in a democratic society.
Addressing party supporters at a meeting in St. John, Mr. Thomas spoke of the significance of the Freedom of Information Act.
A Freedom of Information Act is going to be part of the transformation of Grenada under the National Democratic Congress. And you must recognize the importance of this, because with a Freedom of Information Act, those in authority would have to account for the shrimp farm in St. Mark's. You could question them on it. But because there is no Freedom of Information Act, we are limited. This is why they never advance to put forward the Freedom of Information Act. What I'm saying to you tonight, brothers and sisters, with that act coming into force, they would have to account for the funds under the CBI program. You can call upon them to account for it.
Thomas, who was Prime Minister of Grenada from the period 2008 to 2013 and leader of the NDC from 2000 to 2014, appeared on the NDC platform last evening in Gove, this time to endorse Kireen James, the candidate for the constituency of St. John. He called on party supporters to throw their full support behind her.
As far as I could recall, I believe that Sister Kireen James would be the youngest member of parliament to be elected, youngest person to be elected in the parliament of Grenada. I don't know if anybody could question that, but I believe I've not known of a younger person who would present themselves to be a member of parliament, and we have our sister here. She was also a member of the Senate, so she's really making history in the parish of St. John's. And this parish has created history in the past with Kireen James. So you must not miss this opportunity to make sure that you elect.
Many thanks, Chrislina. Developing the creative industry will be one of the focal points of the new National Party's initiatives if the party is re-elected into government following the June 23rd general elections. Minister Kate Lewis-Peters says the intent is to make the industry blossom.
The new National Party administration has earmarked the creative industry as a pillar for increased investment as part of the national development agenda. According to policycircle.org, the creative economy contributes just over 6.1% of the global gross domestic product, averaging between 2% and 7% of national GDPs around the world. According to UN estimates, the creative economy industries generate annual revenues of over $2 trillion and account for nearly 50 million jobs worldwide. Candidate for St. Andrew Northeast, Kate Lewis, says the NNP is creating programs to allow this industry to blossom.
We are designing programs to support our musicians, our performers, our people in digital audio engineering, film and video, photography, visual arts, crafts, fashion and textile design, performing arts, computer games, app development, writing and publishing, software electronic publishing, and cultural education.
Lewis also spoke of a recent study on the growing importance of the industry.
A United Nations Trade and Development meeting in Barbados last year emphasized that the creative economy has become an important contributor to economic growth and serves as a new prospect for developing countries to diversify their economies and to leapfrog into new high-growth sectors of the world economy. Grenada, we are getting ready for that next level.
As the NNP plans for this sector, data from the UN estimates that between 2019 and 2020, there was a $750 billion contraction in gross value added by the creative economy globally due to the pandemic. This corresponds to about 10 million job losses in the sector worldwide. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
With thousands of undecided voters, what will it take to help them make a decision? Is it more rallies, more motorcades, or more speeches? Well, a local political commentator says Grenada's present campaign format may need revision.
At Sunday's political rally in Cuthbert Peters Park, NNP's candidate for St. George South, Nolan Cox, spoke to the country's undecided voters, suggesting that on June 23rd, they should just put an X by the House for now.
We are also welcoming all those who might be on the fence. We want to speak to you. There is a great future for you in the National Party. There is a great future for you and this country. Come over. If you are not ready yet to wear the green, what we want you to do is just put the X by inside the house for now.
But Professor of Social Science at the St. George's University and keen political observer Dr. Damian Greaves says there is no such thing as a for now vote, and so voters need to think of the long-term impact of their choice.
Because the emphasis is on rallies, and rallies are not the best venues for critical and deep thought. Rallies are to mobilize the bases of the parties. Rallies are for entertainment. Rallies are basically to motivate people and mobilize people for the short term, i.e., staining your index finger to vote in those polling booths.
He says that rallies do not provide the atmosphere needed to foster critical thinking of the short or long-term offerings of a political party.
Because whenever we come to the point of election, the election campaigns and the voting, we always look at it for now. For now. How much of us project beyond now to the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? How many of us project beyond now to what happens to our children, to what happens to our country? And therefore, campaigns should really never focus on the party. Yes, the party is the instrument or the agency through which you can get your development projects going. But the idea is that you have to move beyond that to the future. Look at the landscape. Look at what is happening on the horizon.
Dr. Greaves stressed the need for undecided voters to realize their votes do indeed matter, and therefore it is critical that they glean the information they need in order to come to a decision before June 23rd. He said the responsibility for providing such information lies at the feet of the political parties. Cherry Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
We are moving now to a story which will be considered by some as cruelty to animals. The slaughtering of animals has come into question as images surfaced of unborn animals pulled from their mothers' wombs so that the adults can be slaughtered for sale. Viewer discretion is advised for this report. A butcher shop in St. Andrew is accused of killing pregnant and young animals that are sold to the public for consumption. Two individuals who did not wish to openly comment told our news desk that they fell ill after consuming portions of beef bought from this particular place. Upon investigation, found out the root cause of what they believe is the cause of their illness. GBN also received graphic images of young calves not yet fully formed being ripped away from their mother's womb while her meat goes on sale. GBN contacted the Ministry of Agriculture's Chief Veterinary Officer, Dr. Keeman Cummins, for some clarity on this matter. A statement issued by the Government Information Service states that the Ministry of Agriculture is reiterating its commitment to ensuring a food safety system that spans from the farm to the consumer. The ministry confirmed Friday that it is aware of the slaughter of a pregnant heifer at the Maribor Abattoir in St. Andrew, an incident that constituted a breach of the established protocol in the ante-mortem inspection of animals. The ministry assures the general public that the incident did not pose any threat to human health at any point. The slaughtered animal has since been buried. The statement further reads that as a next step, the ministry plans to meet with abattoir employees to review policies and procedures, which, among other things, in the food safety guidelines, stipulate that all animals must be brought to the abattoir 1 day prior to slaughtering to allow for the proper and thorough inspection of the animals. The ministry is also reminding the public to refrain from purchasing and consuming meat that has not been inspected and passed as fit for human consumption by the Ministry of Health, and to report any instances where meat is sold without certification. Christina John, GBN News. Grenadian nanny earned a college degree after 30 years. The details to this and more when we return.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Sisters and brothers, I ask you to hear me just on this point. Examine the team of the National Democratic Congress. You just examine them. Compare them one by one. And what you see is an experienced group of people ready to take this country forward.
I'm Deacon Mitchell, and I endorse this message.
My name is Patrick St. Paul, and I am a secondary school teacher. I became a member of Arise Credit Union over 5 years ago. A family member referred me to the institution after boasting of the amazing experience she's had with me. At Arise, I've experienced client-friendly service and the best financial advice. Congratulations to Arise on 75 years of transforming lives.
Manage a business. Interested in saving time and money? How about expanding your business? Then the Dcash Merchant app is for you. Receive digital EC payments instantly from Dcash customers anywhere via your smart device. Create invoices and track transactions easily in the app and avoid the hassle of handling physical cash. Visit dcashec.com today for more information and to sign up. Dcash, the digital version of your EC dollar.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Please be advised that our office has been relocated to Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George. We at CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, look forward to serving you at our new location. Call us on telephone number 440-0217 or visit our website www.insurecgi.com.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Tonight we share with you a story about a Grenadian named Lynn Thomas, who recently accomplished her dream of finishing college for more than 30 years. She is now 51 years old and a 2022 graduate of the Borough of Manhattan Community College. This report comes to you compliments Pix 11 News.
Within
Thomas is from East Flatbush, and she says when she wants something, she never gives up. That includes her dreams of going to college. She got her GED at the age of 48, and now at the age of 51, she's getting her college degree from right here at BMCC. She's telling her story. She hopes to inspire others.
I don't want this. I need it.
Lynn Thomas says she's so excited she's graduating from the Borough of Manhattan Community College on the Dean's List with a degree in public health. It's been a long road to get here that lasted 3 decades.
I worked very hard for this. I came from not even having a high school diploma. Because I'm a go-getter, you can't tell me no. I would do it.
From East Flatbush, Thomas worked for decades cleaning houses and as a nanny. Thomas moved to New York from Grenada to join her mother when she was 18 years old and later became a nanny to make a living. But her dream was to help her community get access to quality health care and healthy food options too. So she went back to college.
That wasn't the first time she was an advocate. She had been doing that all of her life, kind of fighting for her life.
Thomas says it took a team to make it happen, including Vanessa Rozelle, her counselor in the College Discovery Program, which helps students get access to higher education by providing academic and personal counseling, plus financial support and tutoring.
And Lynn's hand went up first, and not only did she do that, she was also encouraging other students who had some doubts about coming into college their first year.
Professor Leslie Rennis was Thomas's driving force behind her success in class.
Anything that's worth having, like you want to feel like you fought for it.
We love hugs.
How much do you love her?
Very much.
Thomas will proudly accept her associate's college diploma in front of thousands at BMCC's commencement ceremony at Barclays Center this week. She's not done.
My next step is going to Hunter College.
Thomas promised her 26-year-old daughter she would get a diploma and hang it right next to her daughter's on their living room wall. Mission accomplished.
This dream came true in 2022.
Her advice for adults who think they're not qualified or they're too old to go to college, she says never give up and just do it.
On Wednesday, officers attached to the drug squad unit intercepted a green Toyota RAV4 along with the Springs Public Road and conducted a search of the vehicle, which revealed 2 nylon bags containing cannabis. The cannabis weighed 76 pounds and carries an estimated street value of $172,368. As a result of this, Calvin Patterson, 45 years, a fisherman of Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jerry Thomas, 43 years, painter, and Raymond Lewis, 51 years, driver both of Grand Roy, St. John, were arrested and charged with trafficking in controlled drug. An additional charge of entering the state without the consent of an immigration officer was preferred against Vincentian national Calvin Patterson. The vehicle was also impounded. All 3 men appeared before the St. George's Magistrates Court on Friday, June 10, 2022. Lewis and Thomas were granted bail in the amount of $30,000 with 1 surety. As part of their bail condition, they are to report to the Grand Roy Police Station every Wednesday, while Patterson was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison. The matter is adjourned for Monday, June 20, 2022. It is now time to see what the buzz has been about on our social media platforms. We now go over to Beverly Telesford for tonight's Social Buzz compilation.
GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social media. We browse the World Wide Web and bring to you the topics inciting the most reaction and debate among users. On Thursday, GBN featured a report where executive members of the Public Workers Union accused government of not paying contributions to the National Insurance Scheme for contract workers in the health sector.
Recently, the union got a frantic call from members of the health sector, ambulance drivers and others. And it was revealed that the NIS called these workers and said to them, listen, you people are in arrears. You have not paid up. So essentially,
the Ministry of Health, and I would say the government of Grenada, took it upon themselves to change the terms of engagement of these workers.
Viewers took to the comments section to share their opinions on the latest developments. Samaria said, I always thought contract workers were supposed to pay their own contributions. Ernie added, I would love to hear from the NIS the benefit of contract for service to their strategic plan. I wonder if the entire private sector decides to place all their workers on a contract for service, whether NIS will be more profitable. Laughing out loud. Poston added, so when would these workers become permanent? Maybe when they're ready to collect their pension. Danny chimed in, there was a few people some weeks ago that was claiming that I lied when I said the same thing. That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Thanks, Beverly, for that. The Sandals Foundation ambassadors embark on beach and mangrove cleanup to mark World Oceans Day. That's coming up when we come back.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Get your game on all month long at Court. Stream your favorite game or movies on a new tablet. Relax on a new recliner with your snack fresh out of your brand new fridge. Keep your heart and health in check with a home gym set and Wi-Fi compatible smart products and much more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit. Get your game on. Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Spice Mass is back! And Grenada Distillers Limited wants you to win big with its bottleneck promotion. With every purchase of pure white or special dark, you are automatically entered for a chance to win. Win tickets to Soca Mona. Win free costumes. Win bottles of Clark Scott Rum, Grenada's #1. Win cold hard cash and more. Simply write your name, address, and contact details at the back of this bottleneck and insert in the boxes at participating outlets and the Clark Scott sales van. Win big for Spice Mass with Clark Scott, Grenada's #1 rum.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spice Isle Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spice Isle Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spice Isle Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grand Banks. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 406-1500 or visit any of our 3 locations. Spice Cell Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
The following is a paid political announcement. The views expressed are of the client and not the Grenada Broadcasting Network.
The Supervisor of Election has blocked the nomination of 3 candidates of Renaissance. They are Mr. Joseph of the town of St. George, Mr. Hanson Fletcher of St. John. The office has rejected the nomination of 3 candidates of East St. Patrick and Northwest St. Andrews for less than half an hour late. The candidate of St. David was removed from the list, though she voted last election. This makes the election to be unfair. Renaissance demands that the day of election should be halted in order to remedy this problem. The law of bureaucracy has been broken by the Supervisor of Election.
The preceding was a paid political announcement. The views expressed are of the client and not the Grenada Broadcasting Network.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pockets every month. Plus now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Grenada remains one of the few countries in the Caribbean that remains without a Freedom of Information Act despite promises from past and present government. The National Democratic Congress is promising to fix this if elected into government. Krista John tells us more.
The government led by former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas in 2008 promised to introduce a Freedom of Information Act. However, that never materialized, and today, Grenada remains one of few countries in the Caribbean that remains without such legislation. The promise, which resulted in several consultations with the Media Workers Association, stalled at a draft stage. Now the NDC is promising to resume consultation with the media to bring the draft document into a complete legal document. Mr. Thomas says such legislation will allow for the questioning of those in authority.
This is a party that respects our institution to the extent that in the Parliament of Grenada we move to remove criminal libel from the books so that we could free up the media in particular and to give people the opportunity to speak out. Information should be flown. There shouldn't be any restriction on information in a democratic society.
Addressing party supporters at a meeting in St. John, Mr. Thomas spoke of the significance of the Freedom of Information Act.
A Freedom of Information Act is going to be part of the transformation of Grenada under the National Democratic Congress. And you must recognize the importance of this, because with a Freedom of Information Act, those in authority would have to account for the shrimp farm in St. Mark's. You could question them on it. But because there is no Freedom of Information Act, we are limited. This is why they never advance or put forward the Freedom of Information Act. What I'm saying to you tonight, brothers and sisters, with that act coming into force, they would have to account for the funds under the CBI program. You could call upon them to account for it.
Thomas, who was Prime Minister of Grenada from the period 2008 to 2013 and leader of the NDC from 2000 to 2014, appeared on the NDC platform last evening in Gove, this time to endorse Kireen James, the candidate for the constituency of St. John. He called on party supporters to throw their full support behind her.
As far as I could recall, I believe that Sister Kieran James would be the youngest member of parliament to be elected, youngest person to be elected in the Parliament of Grenada. I don't know if anybody could question that, but I believe I've not known of a younger person who presented themselves to be a member of parliament, and we have our sister here. She was also a member of the Senate, so she's really making history in the parish of St. John's. And this parish has created history in the past with Kirani James. So you must not miss this opportunity to make sure that you elect the youngest member of parliament in the history of Grenada on the 23rd of June 2022.
The former Prime Minister says that elected members are placed into office as trustees, not as bosses, and so must account to the people. However, democracy can only be possible with the proper structures in place. Christina John, GBN News.
Sandals Foundation ambassadors in Grenada marked this year's World Oceans Day on June 8th by taking collective action for the ocean together with the Boucheju community, hosting a beach and a mangrove cleanup and educational outreach. Christina John has more.
Community members, Sandals Resort volunteers, and student volunteers joined forces to remove more than 300 pounds of plastic and other waste from the coastal area. This marked the occasion of World Ocean Day, June 8, 2022. Prior to the cleanup, educational outreach was conducted at the Uganda Martyrs School, formerly known as Happy Hill RC, and the Mount Morris Anglican School by conservationists Zoya Buckmeyer and Tyrone Buckmeyer of the Grenada Fund for Conservation. It was noted that single-use plastic bottles and food containers account for the majority, while snack wrappers, fishing lines, fishing nets, and other items account for the minority of waste collected at the ocean. The composition of waste collected was documented to deepen the understanding of the pervasive presence of every item becoming solid waste. Together, a significant amount of refuse from the mangrove and the black sand beach was collected that might have otherwise ended up in the ocean. Samuel Paul, president of the Boucheju Community Development Organization, believes it was a fruitful and enlightening initiative. The Boucheju Community Development Organization and the community members of Boucheju extend a heartfelt thank you to Sandals Foundation, promising to continue the charge to advocate within the fishing community and the broader community for more responsible waste disposal and care for the natural environment. World Ocean Day was observed under the banner Revitalization, Collective Action for the Ocean. Christina John, GBN News.
Thanks, Christina, for that report. Our citizen journalists captured protest action, which occurred on Thursday. Let's take a peek through our lens for more.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's Eyesore features the chants of workers from the Grenada Electricity Company Grenlec as they engaged in protest action through Grand Dance in St. George. They resumed protest action on Thursday, less than 30 days after reaching an amicable solution to salary increase. The union representative revealed that executive members of GRENLEC on Wednesday indicated that they are not in a position to negotiate any amendments to the company's collective agreement. GRENLEC notes that the company has made significant concessions in the interest of resolving the issue and minimizing service disruptions, and is disappointed that TAU is taking industrial action without following the grievance procedure. GRENLEC also informs customers of potential service delays related to actions taken by some team members. We encourage you to send your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Many thanks, Beverly. Up next, we probe around the globe, but first we will take a look at the latest in sports. Stay with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Was ever a time to keep and stay healthy? It's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Tonight's weather, partly cloudy to overcast and hazy with some light to moderate showers and the isolated thunder. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas moderate to slightly rough with waves of 5 to 7 feet in open water. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides will be high at 12:30 a.m. and tonight's minimum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. Moving now to Saturday, the weather cloudy to overcast, hazy and breezy with some light to moderate brief to scattered showers and isolated thunder improving during the afternoon. Once again, a marine advisory is in effect. The tides will be high at 12:13 a.m. On Sunday, the sun will rise at 5:43 a.m. and set at 6:32 p.m. The weather is expected to be generally fair, hazy and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with the possible isolated shower, increasing in cloudiness overnight with some brief to widely scattered showers and the possible isolated thunder. And finally, on Monday, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy, hazy and windy with some brief to widely scattered showers and the possible isolated thunder mainly during the afternoon and overnight. Seas slight to moderate with waves of 4 to 6 feet in open water. And that's the weather forecast for tonight and the upcoming days. good evening to you, sporting fans. The journey continues for three-time Olympic medalist and former world champion Kirani James as he sets his eyes on another title in July. James won his 17th Diamond League in Rome on Thursday, evading the competition from Vernon Norwood in the last 20 meters, with Michael Cherry placing third. Here is a recap of the race as Kirani recorded a time of 44.54 seconds.
Well, a long hole, but they're cleanly away. And a decent start there from Michael Cherry, who's got Kirani James in his sights. Down the back straight, also made a good start, is Christopher Taylor, second from right of picture, but Norwood there with that silky smooth style. Not much to choose between them at all. Vernon Norwood also going well. Kirani James, though, comes good into the second half of the race. Felice and Scotty there, but now the bend and folds, and Michael Cherry on the inside of Kirani James, and these three are starting to push clear, but is it Kirani James coming through the middle? James at the moment with just 50 metres to go, being pushed hard by Norwood. Kirani James gets it on the line, 44.54 the winning time, outside the meeting record.
In the wide and wonderful world of football, the Grenada Football Association's annual general meeting and elections on Saturday is stirring up some regional interest as one of the presidential candidates made an appearance on the Sportsmax zone on Thursday. Marlon Glean, who has stepped up to contest the GFA elections, and Bernardine Andrew, president of the Central Conference, were guests on the program, while according to Sportsmax, Shani Joseph and his team declined the invitation. Andrew highlighted that it is not hunger for power that drives the Marlon Glean team to contest, noting that a movement to oust Shani Joseph began 2 years ago.
In fact, I was the one who was going to be running for the president. Because 2 years ago, what myself and a couple clubs did is that we were not satisfied with what's happening here. So we banded together and we have what we call a movement. And I was the person that was going to come forward as the presidential candidate, let's put it like that, when the election come up in 2022.
She notes that the future of football in Grenada is not heading in the right direction, citing the lack of a youth development program among the major factors.
The current president, it certainly is not. I believe that the president now has lost his focus, and he's not willing to listen and work along with the persons who can actually assist him with doing what has to be done to get the football to the next level. And I also believe that under the leadership of Marlon Glean, we will see that kind of change taking place.
Glean, impressing on the poor state of football in the country, says there are no issues and solutions he has not shared with the incumbent president.
Everything I'm campaigning on, I had spoken to Chenny at length. Youth development, grassroots program. I've been pounding that to the GFA and to the president for the last 10 years, 15 years or so. And he's always promising to do it, but he never gets it done. And I keep saying to him for the longest that this is the most common sense approach to development of football. Yeah. The more you invest in youth football, the greater the chances of you're going to get development. Yeah. But we've never engaged in youth football development. We've never done it.
Meanwhile, one of the major issues the Marlon Glean team will be challenging is the use of approximately $12.69 billion received over the last 2.5 years from FIFA.
So between 2020 and today, June 9, 2022, Grenada got $4.7 million US. And if you do the math, I think you should come up with about 12.69 million Eastern Caribbean dollars.
Where has it been spent?
I'm not sure. The FA would say that it's been on the men's senior national team.
To play in which competition? To play in which competition?
I guess World Cup qualifying, Nations League. They're currently playing in Nations League. But that's for the president and the FA to show us their statements. Prove me wrong.
Amongst all of this controversy, Grenada is scheduled to play the USA in the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday night from 10 p.m. in Texas. Finally, West Indies have lost the ODI series to Pakistan following Friday's defeat by 120 runs in the second ODI match. With one more ODI remaining, Pakistan winning the toss chose to bat first and posted a total of 275 for 8 wickets, with scores of 72 and 77 respectively from the Pakistan batsmen. West Indies, despite the early loss of Shai Hope, were comfortably chasing before a batting collapse led to a tally of 155 all out. That's the latest in sports for now. Up next, we bring you up to speed on global happenings. Take a look at what's happening around the world. Our first stop is in Guyana, where a toy gun scare at a secondary school followed a teacher's protest about developing gang violence situations against them. The situation at the large secondary school took a different turn Thursday after the police made an arrest. More in this report from HGP TV.
One day after, teacher at the Lodge Secondary School staged a protest over the operations of gangs at the school. 3 persons, including 1 student, were taken into police and school's welfare custody Thursday morning. 90 News understands that teacher is found what appeared to be an air gun, a knife, and an improvised weapon in a student's haversack. The police, who were on patrol duties at the school, were immediately notified. The school's welfare department is said to be handling that matter. In a separate incident at the same school, 2 males were whisked away by the police after they were positively identified by students as the ones who scaled the school's fence on Tuesday and attempted to rob teachers and students. They were allegedly found on the school's premises Thursday morning. Teachers who said they have also been faced with threats from some students decided to protest to highlight the situation at the school in light of recent attacks on Wednesday. The Guyana Teachers Union General Secretary, Coretta McDonald, who was present at the protest, told reporters that systems have to be put in place to safeguard the teachers and students. Following McDonald's comments, construction work will commence at the school this week, beginning with barbed wires around the fence of the school to prevent intruders. The Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union are closely monitoring the situation.
We're moving now to the island of St. Lucia, where officials warn against sugar swindling as the country experiences sugar shipment delays. We join HDS News Force for the details.
Spend $20 or more if you want to purchase sugar. That's one of the demands allegedly placed on consumers by some establishments as the island faces shipping delays of the commodity due to the pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Consumer Affairs Department is putting business owners on alert on the sale of different items as a package to finagle consumers into purchasing certain goods.
It is absolutely incorrect for you to say to that consumer that you could only purchase that particular item if you are buying additional items, or a term which referred to as bundling. And the provisions of the legislation is absolutely clear. If there are any consumers out there who have experienced such practices by business outlets, please do not hesitate to come to or report the matter to the Consumer Affairs Department. Again, we are strongly urging and pleading to all retail outlets and business owners to desist from this practice with immediate effect.
Now Now for international affairs. 2 British men have been sentenced to death after being captured by Russian forces while fighting in Ukraine. Here's more from the BBC.
Britain has called it a sham judgment with no legitimacy. Yet both of these men could face death by firing squad.
Didn't really have any other choice other than to surrender.
This is Aidan Aslin during the battle for Mariupol. Both he and Sean Pinner were captured back in April. Now they're part of Russia's propaganda war, with Moscow claiming they're foreign mercenaries.
They may be killed quickly at shock value, but as everyone expects they're not, then they will be held as a diplomatic tool. And I think the bigger picture here, what is happening, is that the Russians are going to become increasingly aggressive as part of the indirect conflict against the Baltic republics, against the Poles, against the UK and others who are close to the Ukrainian administration.
It's true that foreign fighters signed up alongside Ukrainians after the Russian invasion, but that's not the case for Aidan and Sean. They'd made their lives in Ukraine some years ago, serving in its armed forces for several years prior. A US Army medic trained Aidan Aslin.
He went to Ukraine in 2017. He has a Ukrainian fiance. They do have, or did have, a home outside of Mariupol, and he was a part of the 36th Marine Brigade. So, he had a well-established life in Ukrainian citizenship.
That's our look at what's happening globally. Stay with us for a recap of the main points. Eyebrows raised over the slaughtering of pregnant animals. NDC promises to introduce Freedom of Information Act if successful in June 23rd elections. Political observer says political parties owe undecided voters more than rallies. In Guyana, a toy gun scare at a secondary school followed a teacher's protest about developing gang violence situations against them. And further afield, Britons sentenced to death after fighting Russian forces in Ukraine. In sports, the Grenada's Kirani James continues his dominance toward the World Championships in July. Those were some of the major developments. For more on the country's current affairs, visit Grenada Broadcasting Network on Facebook and YouTube. You can also visit our website at gbn.gd and be sure to subscribe to our GBN Production YouTube channel to keep abreast of our live programs. On behalf of Team GBN, I am Krista Campbell, thanking you so much for joining us, and have a magnificent weekend.
They are the few, the strong, the